Welcome back to Phase 3 Gaming Podcast. 3 Gaming Podcast.
Episode 8.
Yo, Frank, why are you eating Taco Bell, bro?
Well, because I was like, yo, let's eat food. You want a BLT? And she's like, nah. I was like, you want empanadas? She's like, nah, I want fast food. I was like, fine. So I got some Taco Bell. She got some Wendy's kids meal. That's pretty much it. And I was like, all right, When was the last time you had fast food, Ruckus?
But this isn't about me, Frank. I told you I eat Burger King every morning. So, Jules.
That's right. Yeah, you do.
Yo.
What did you have today? What did you eat?
What did I eat? I had a
You're gonna say like kale or something, right?
No,
something
I had like garbage today. We've been sick and I'm just kind of doing whatever I want to do. I'm not really paying attention to rules.
Okay.
But we had this I had this it's like ramen, kind of like a bougie ramen. Like
okay.
It was
I like spicy ramen.
Yeah, it's kind of spicy, but I mean, it's like it was in a package. Like, I mean, it was like in a package, but like it had like it was like a what do you call it? Vacuum sealed. You know what I mean? Rather than like dried, it was like vacuum sealed kind of thing.
Vacuum sealed?
Yeah, it was some special ramen, guys. This is top shelf ramen, if you know what I mean.
Oh shit!
But I had
Where'd you get that? Ichiraku?
I did actually. I got it from Ichiraku. He hooked me up.
Itadakimasu.
And I had a banana with peanut butter.
In the
banana
ramen?
with peanut butter?
Shoved it in the ramen.
Jules eats weird things. He's like, I ate this whole giant couple stalks of celery with nothing. Like, Jules, why did you do that? And like, he's like, I ate like a whole jar of jelly. Like,
no.
He does random things.
Don't go spreading rumors about me.
Why would you do that?
Jelly.
Why would you eat
celery
a
is
jar
delicious.
of jelly?
I'm in there with the celery, but the
not by itself with nothing.
Guys.
Nah, bro, you can't eat raw dog celery. Like no salt.
Yes, you can.
Nothing.
It's called a vegetable.
Nah, bro. You're talking crazy right now. That's just.
I eat celery all the time.
Celery.
Okay. Yeah, maybe with like some. It's too like this. Well, it's fine until you get to the strings, and once you start getting the strings, you're just like It's just like DPS on your teeth. It's like it just is too much.
Yo, can I ask you guys a question? You ever go to like a fancy restaurant and they have like a dress code? Does that turn you guys up? What do you think about dress codes in general? I think they're kind of like stupid. I think anywhere where you have to look a specific way to be there, I don't want to be there. What do you guys think about that? Okay,
so like I'll give you this, right? You go to a Japanese restaurant, right? If there was a bunch of non-Japanese people there, you'd feel kind of thrown off a little bit, right? And not maybe they're the best sushi chefs there ever was, right?
No. I don't mean the workers. I mean you.
Let me finish, right? But it's about the experience, right? It's about the ambiance of the place. Right. So if you go to Shandong, right? Like, and they expect you to dress a certain way, like you are also part of the ambiance there, right? So they're
not
doing
paying me to dress up.
Bro, you go to a club,
them, I get to wear
right?
what I want.
You go to a fancy club, they want you to dress right, right? It's just part of it. You're part of the ambiance. So like it's totally this is my zone. You're gonna do what I want inside our zone. And this if you want to move like this, then you come here. If you don't want to move like this, you go where the savages go.
So Frank is a fascist. Jules, what do you think about Jules, what do you think about dress codes?
Full fascism.
Well,
be careful where you tread.
Yeah, this is a place to walk.
You gotta pick.
Let it rip, Jules.
For once and for all, pick a side, Jules.
Don't be PC, Jules.
Fat face. Hold on.
Oh my god. Jules is about to shove so much jelly in his mouth right now.
He's like,
guys, we're getting out of hand here. Can we
answer the question, Jules?
I don't even know what the question was, to be honest. I'm thinking of jelly.
God damn it.
Oh, dress codes. No, I mean, I think they're okay. I mean, I would be taken aback if I got caught off guard and I didn't know I was supposed to wear a blazer when I walked into this restaurant.
We can never be cool again, Jules. You picked your side. You're stuck on that side now.
Fuck,
man. Why do you have to be such a contrarian on this though, Ruckus?
It's not. I just think how someone dresses and looks should not be so important. I think, what if you just wanted to, like, what if you wear a traditional African garb or something? Like, you're not allowed in that building to eat? Like, what? I have to dress like, with, like,
they're saying this is
suit,
fancy tux diner, bro. Like, you got to wear a fancy tux. It's just, like, it's the name of the place. It's Chavon Chef there. You know what I mean?
So let the people that work there dress like that. Kiss my
They do, too. Everybody dresses like that, you know?
I don't like it.
I mean, what kind of dress codes?
No,
we need to be practical here, though. Like, what are you talking about? What is the dress code? Like, what are the rules?
I don't like it for job interviews. I don't like it for like weddings, funerals. Like, I don't think everyone should have to dress a certain type of way to be accepted there.
You're ignoring the nature of reality, though.
I mean, I'm growing my viewpoint here. I'm not trying to be stuck within your limitations, Frank.
I'm just saying, okay, like, I mean, for me personally, right? Like, nowadays, I dress nice all the time, like business casual all the time. And like, I will say, like, just off rip, like without me, I could be a savage, right? But people look at me like, damn, this stand-up fellow, excuse me, fine sir, because of the way that I dress. And they don't know what a heathen I am.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that's the whole point, right? Is like you it opens certain doors for you right away, right? And I think that's the part that you hate, right? Yeah, you hate
this is the problem because like I've felt the same way. I dress up really nice. People treat me like I'm some freaking manager of their own company. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's this way.
Like bow down to you. They roll the carpet out.
My Yu Yu Hakusho hoodie the other day, you didn't give a shit about me. So like, it's wrong, and I think it should change. And people have a really limited viewpoint based on if your shirt buttons up or not, and it's stupid to me.
My shirt buttons up, so I really don't have those problems. You know.
All right.
Next topic.
All right. Continue conforming.
What?
I want to tell you guys a little. I want to tell you guys a little thing that you don't know about Elden Ring. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Oh snap!
Fuck up,
Frank. Go ahead, fuck me up.
It's not a spoiler because you've all been past it, but you just don't know it. So it's just a little secret. Just a little spice for you, a little cinnamon. Okay.
I bet you I know it. Let's go.
All right. You don't know a lot. I mean, you like dress codes and stuff, but
okay.
All right. So you guys know after you beat what's the first main story boss in the game?
Margaret, the fair omen.
You keep calling her Margaret, so I keep letting you slide on that.
All right,
Margaret. All right.
Margaret.
So after you beat Margaret, there's a path to your left, and on the path to your left, there's an NPC, and he tells you, hey, if you go this way, it's a lot safer. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, I remember him.
Dude. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you know what I'm saying. You don't know this though. What you don't know is that if you take that path, when you die, you lose extra runes. And the reason is that guy's following you around the whole time, taking your runes when you die, and you can actually catch him in the act. Did you know that?
So let me say this, right? You know what's funny is I was recently in that area, and I was discovering that, like, oh, when I died, I was coming back. Like I say, I had 4,000 souls, and I died, and I come back, and I have like 28,000 or something. I mean, not well. That's way more.
You have 28,000.
He gave me 15,000 souls. No, but like I'd have like 2,800, and I'm like, that's odd. And I was like, was that the way this game always worked? That you lose some? I was like, I don't think so. I was having like a whole mindgasm about it. And I didn't realize that it was him, though. I didn't see him doing it.
Yeah.
How do you catch him? Because you're dead already, right?
No, you don't catch him while you're dead. You can see him following you if you look close enough as you're going through the level. Isn't that cool as shit?
Really?
Yeah.
That's really disturbing.
I haven't caught him myself, but this is what I've heard. And it makes sense about like the mechanic of him taking from you, but I haven't seen anyone I haven't seen myself of him following you. But that's like, you know what it is about From games? I know this is going to be another episode of us just gushing about FromSoft, but they'll put so much content in the game that you will never see or know about.
Yeah,
and
I love
big developers, they can't afford to do that. Everything they have in there's a pointer telling you, hey, don't miss this content. Hey, beat up, make sure you get over here. They want you to absorb every single bit of content. They're not going to take the risk. They don't have the balls to put a ton of cool stuff in there, take the time to develop things like that you may never even see. Quest lines you will probably never even know about. Jules. That's awesome.
Me,
yeah, Jules. Yeah, get your act together.
Yo, yeah, no, that dude. I was suspicious of him, really, pretty suspicious. But I don't think I've ever recalled losing any points upon that. So I don't know if I caught him.
Jules actually never died in the castle, so.
Or like, is it? Are you saying it's only in the castle? It's not like after the castle.
I don't know his range, but I know. Yeah. I mean, isn't that the same guy that stomps on Godric when you kill him?
I was gonna say, I actually just beat Godric today. And
I think he's following you that whole time, bro.
Yeah, like
maybe he stops then.
I was telling Jules, like, I fought him before, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a pretty good fight. But then I got like distracted. I ended up going up to like Liurnia of the Lakes, and I kind of like ran through a lot of that area. And then I was like, oh, I never killed Godric, and I like went back and I just like sliced him in half, and I was like, oh. And then that guy was like stomping on his like dead head on the ground. And I was like, oh, I remember you. But I didn't know he was stealing all my stuff. I probably should have killed him. I would have killed him.
I mean, you don't really have any use for him, right? Maybe if you kill him, you don't get that little scene of him stepping on Godric, which is kind of a nice little
I mean, now that he like is he still stepping on Godric's head, like if I go back there,
is he still there? If he's there,
is he still there? Stomping him out, like stomping his dead head out?
I don't think you're gonna get anything from killing him though.
I'm gonna find him though. I'm gonna find him.
You told me this.
Yeah, you have like 20,000 of my souls. Like, yeah, you gotta go.
Jules, how's your progress going in Elden Ring?
Pretty decent. I found a bunch of stuff. Today I've just beat. Can I say the boss's name? That's not like spoiler stuff for you guys, right?
It is. If it's something I haven't been to, yeah.
It's pretty moderate spoiler, but
I can't even pronounce anyone's name correct. What does it even matter? I'm supposed to call him Margaret anyway.
Was it the main boss guy?
Yeah, main boss.
What kind of troll was it, Jules?
I think General Radar beat him
Great.
today.
Okay, well, at least I know about him.
That took me a couple. That took me like a day, I think. Like I played a couple times yesterday.
You killed him?
I killed him. I felt real good about it.
Oh my god!
It took me a lot of tries.
Beat him on the third try. I'm determined. But yeah, I fought Jules just now, right before we played.
I was trolling a little bit. Frank beat my ass, but I finished him pretty nice.
Yeah, he killed me at the very end, which was like he exploded himself. I was like, I got you, and I was like going for gut punches. I was like, take this, and then he just exploded. And
I literally exploded myself.
Like, he exploded himself.
Flask of wondrous physics, eh?
Yeah, you know. And
I was like, why did you do this? And I died.
That's one of the coolest things about the game is like it's a part of your build. Your flask is a part of your build now. There are so many different types of flask combinations you can have.
See, I only have the first part that I don't have anything. Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't know, you get a bunch of different like concoctions that you can put together, and you can make way cooler stuff than just a little bit of health.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm looking around for that. I've been focusing on like some NPC quests. Like I've been trying to like go back and find these people and like, okay, you're looking for this thing. There's this one I just want to tell you guys about real quick, which is funny. It was in Liurnia of the Lakes, and you go to this one spot and there's like this blind girl, right? And she's just like, oh, like I got robbed. And this guy, he messed up my eyes, so I'm blind now. And he took my bracelet or something. And she's like, yeah, he's just down that way. But like, where are you pointing? And I ran around the whole map and there's nobody there. And I'm like, you're blind. You don't even know which way he went. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean down the way, that way? Like there's no that way. You don't even know where you're talking about. And I was so upset. And
so racist.
Yeah, that was pretty much my experience with Elden Ring quests.
Did you guys meet the best NPC in the game?
Patches?
Not Patches. I give you a little sneak peek of what he's like. Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant of the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, Erdtree, grant me succor.
Wait, is that the pothead motherfucker?
I don't think he's a pothead.
Wow. Yo. Bro, like
he talks. He's the most talkative NPC in any Souls game ever.
Noble. I said I would serve him. I was like, bro, Jules, I got your back, bro.
Wait, we're not talking about crack pothead looking motherfucker?
I'm not even sure who crack pothead motherfucker is.
All right, so that's some other guy you guys don't know about.
Jules is about to become the Elden Lord. I feel like he's like 2 steps from it.
The Elden
Lord. No. Jules, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. You remember when I think it was like the first Elden Ring episode that we did. I said, did you guys rescue any heroic figures? That's who I was talking about. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now Frank's in the dark.
Yeah, Frank's in the dark over there.
I stay in the dark, bro.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, but that guy sounds pretty educated. I want to meet this guy you're talking about.
Yeah, I met him, and I said I would serve him.
Did you complete his quest?
I think I did. I started it, and then like it didn't go so well.
Right.
Second part of it.
Yeah,
and then like that was it. And I was like, yeah, I was expecting to like be knighted and be like, you know what I mean? Like have a ceremony. I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, maybe I shouldn't have cleared that place or something. Like, I don't know.
You feel like you did something wrong?
Maybe. Like, did I mess up? I don't know.
That's the whole thing about these games is you never quite know. They like right now, I'm pretty lost. I don't know what to do next. I try to take your advice and go to the but it's in the middle of the damn ocean, Frank. I don't know. Like the big one.
Get out. That's the big one, man. That's the Earth.
You can't get to it. It's all the way in the freaking ocean.
Yeah, there's ways, bro.
So yeah, at some point I was a little like burnt out and frustrated. Like, man, I don't know where to go. I'm just going around these same places. But I caught myself, would you rather have to actually think and figure it out, or at all times have a little pointer saying this way? Right. So I had to like ground myself and say, this is what I asked for. This is what I wanted. I got to figure this shit out. And not just be upset that I don't have a pointer saying this is the next way to the story. Because with great freedom comes great ability to be fucking lost.
Did you guys come across any like giant walking
monuments? Yeah. You talking about the building?
I was playing with Fiora.
Walking mausoleums.
Yeah, bro. It took me like, I don't know, 45 minutes, but I figured out how to get on top of one.
Yeah, I got on one.
And like, man, me and Fiora were like, we were so excited when I finally made the jump and I got on one. Just like, yeah.
Oh, you did the jump like a wild man. He literally did
both of you guys jumped on it?
I did not. No, I did the other way.
I jumped on him. And then like,
for Jules, okay, you did it the right way. All right, got it.
I got on top of him. And then like, I had to like go to a cliff and like, it was crazy. wait till it gets close enough. It was nuts. But like then like I don't spoil anything.
It's not spoiled. Continue.
Okay, yeah, but not for us anyway.
Basically,
for the listener, I guess
I hit those little rocks around him. And like and then I'm just standing there because then like I had a like IRL distraction and then like I'm like okay and I'm talking and all of a sudden I realize I'm like what's happening and like the whole thing collapsed, right? And and then I'm like okay and then I'm just standing in front of the door and then I was like I have to leave for 15 minutes and Fear was so like open the door and I was like don't open the door. I was like there's probably monsters in there, you know. But I went in there and I found out like there was some stuff but I couldn't use yet. Oh, that was actually why I went back and killed Godric. Because I was like, maybe he has some stuff.
And he did.
Then, and he did. But then I didn't go back to that place yet. So I don't know. But we'll see. That's my whole story. But it was really epic just getting on top of that guy.
Hey, Jules, how did you figure out how to fall him?
I was just trying to damage him. So I was just trying to cut his fucking ankles, thinking it was like a living thing, and then shit fell off him. And I was
typical
like, "Oh,
Jules, you know,
typical Jules." But
so what I did was I saw them like a few times and I was like, I'm not messing with that. And then at one point I came across a merchant and the merchant had information about them. So I bought the information and it told me exactly what to do. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of just followed the rules, but you guys just found another way, which is awesome.
Yeah. Like cool. I'm going to jump off a cliff. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Can I ask you guys a question? In Ruckus, you let us know if we're not like focused enough for the podcast. But my question with is what do all the cookbooks and all these books do? I have so many books that I don't pay attention to the purpose for their
crafting.
So I got to give them to merchants or something.
No, if you get cookbooks, you have new recipes for crafting. Whether or not you have those items that will make those recipes pop up is another story. But every cookbook you have in your inventory allows you new combinations for crafting.
Gotcha. So I don't
as far as I know.
Open them or something weird or activate them or something.
Nah, it's automatic.
It kind of opens your I feel like I have like all the wrong recipes in my like I have like a whole bunch of like, hey, do you want to make this magic thing? And I'm like, no, I'm not a magic guy. Like get away from me.
Yeah, I think different points in the game give you a lot of stuff that either you really don't need or you really do need.
Yeah. I've been through a lot of those of the latter, you know, but honestly, like in the process of that though, like number one, I leveled up a lot. Number two is like man, like I've fought some really interesting bosses that like I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of bosses in this game. And even like, again, these like dungeon bosses or whatever, these mini bosses, like some of them are just really fun. Like it's really fun to fight. I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever been to the village of the Albinurics?
Don't think so.
It just reminds me of Sekiro a little bit.
I wouldn't remember the name if I did.
Yeah. Have you guys met any well, I'm sure you have, the amphibian gymnastic alien dudes?
Yeah, they're fucking funny as fuck.
Yeah,
fucking cartwheeling in the water.
Right? I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like one was hanging out next to some plants. I was like, what? I had to stop. I was like, what is that thing?
I think that might be my favorite new enemy design so far. I think they look awesome.
They look awesome.
I don't really understand their existence, but yeah, I don't know.
Elden Ring is selling like hotcakes out there. It's it's surpassed like Mega Man as a franchise so far. Not Elden Ring by itself, but the Soul series is now it's coming upon passing like Street Fighter as far as like complete series sales. So Elden Ring, the Souls games are no longer going to be, not that they really were recently, but like niche anymore. They're going to be complete AAA. The whole world knows about them games. And I'm curious to know if Bandai Namco will allow FromSoft to continue to be what they are, or will we see more and more catering to casuals, accessibility options, or like will that creep into the gameplay that we love and make it more casual friendly, you know? Like will they water down Souls is what I wonder with it being so huge now.
I think honestly like it really a lot of that depends on Miyazaki, you know, because he's the guy.
I don't know.
But like
does he have all of that say though? Like if all that money's coming in, there are people way above him that get to make different decisions. That's what happens when money goes into games.
No, I hear you, but at the same time, like there's also a reason why these AAA companies aren't selling their games as much, right? And it's like I think like number one though, like one thing I will say is like you name me the last game that started its own series of games, like its own type of game, right? Like Souls-like wasn't really a thing before Dark Souls, right? And now there's like
Demon Souls
but Souls-like, but there was never like a whole you're right, but there was never a whole like genre, you know what I mean? Like it really kind of made a whole genre. So like I think like for a lot of like how you talked about, like I think last podcast, like indie games, a lot of that, the whole Metroidvania Souls-like thing is like they're popping. They're some of the most popular games on Steam and all this jazz. And I think like that's for a reason, and like, but it is because of a certain recipe. It's because of a certain magic in there. And I think like not having, your quest markers, not having things be so point and click and all this, I think is part of that. And like, and I've said before, like with Elden Ring, like I think even though it's humongous right now, there's gonna be a ton of people who don't finish the game, right? Because they're gonna get lost, or they're going to get disheartened by it, or they're going to get whatever. I do think it's going to be in the ethosphere, but like I think people Dark Souls has been old, it's an old game now, so it's like Elden Ring 2 or whatever, the next one that comes out, people are going to remember this game and go, oh man, I got lost and I don't think I want to play it, or they're going to buy it again. I don't know, but I can't see the recipe changing it to cut it short.
Some could say that Elden Ring is more accessible than Dark Souls was.
I agree.
And I could see in a meeting somewhere someone telling Miyazaki or they telling FromSoft, hey, the reason why your game got so much bigger is because you have something really good here, but this was more accessible. That's why it was more successful. And let's continue this path by adding blah, 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 blah. And then the next time we play a Souls game, it has all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe they handle it right. I know Miyazaki just has like a traditional way of making games. He's more in touch with like older style, like role playing. He has those roots. He knows what he wants to see in a game, and he wants like some real essential, like grassroots RPG elements in his games. So maybe a lot of that just won't change, but I'm just curious to know if you guys were worried about that or not.
I know
Jules is not. I know that Jules is like totally cool with all that.
I am a little worried, but I also feel pretty hopeful about it. But one thing I will say about Elden Ring in specific is I do think that like the release of it was also like, the gameplay, the game itself obviously, but like the release of it, like I don't know if it was you or I saw somewhere else, but like when it came to like Horizon, and we always do this comparison every podcast, but like when it came to Horizon, they're talking about how big their map was and how big their game was and all this sort of stuff, and there was like a lot of the stuff about Elden Ring I felt like was kind of not so pronounced. They weren't bragging about the game, so like I feel like people were discovering aspects of it when they got it that maybe they didn't know before.
That does make it more shareable for sure.
So it's like, oh, you think it's going to be a good game, but then it turns out to be a great game. Versus like it's supposed to be the best game ever, and then it comes out and it's like, it was okay.
They undersold and they over delivered, and that's a really good way to
over delivered. And I think like if you're already thinking, okay, like if it's in the good category, undersold and over delivered, now once it hits the streets and people start talking about it, especially in this day and age of dried up, dead nonsense games, like easy mode games, I feel like it's like it's just gonna blow up.
So really quick, we're gonna step over the topic of Elden Ring just for a second. Sony recently had a state of play, which is not really like, they never really announced anything huge there. They talk about a few things and a lot of people get excited for no reason because it's never anything mind-boggling. But in this state of play, they announced, or they showed a few games. I'm not going to say all of them because you guys won't care about most of them, but there's a couple in here that you guys might know about. Maybe you've heard about it. You guys heard about Forspoken?
I heard the name. What was that again? I forget.
So it's I think it's a Square joint. It follows, I think she's African-American, a black girl. And it's really, it almost gives you like Infamous vibes. Really nice graphics, visuals.
I loved Infamous, by the way.
I think it's in some way connected to Final Fantasy 1 somehow, some way. But it's a really fancy, nice looking PS5 game. They also talked about.
Sorry,
what did you say?
I was like, I remember seeing trailers. The visuals are amazing.
Yeah, it looks really impressive, like the spells and everything like that. So they showed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Not really into anime fighters too much. They usually don't turn out that great. They did announce Ghostwire Tokyo, or they showed some of it. You guys heard about that or no?
No, I haven't heard it at all.
Valkyrie Elysium, which is the Valkyrie Profile, the next game from Valkyrie Profile. We talked about that recently, which is kind of weird how they kind of announced that. They're probably just listening to the podcast, but it's all good. They announced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection. This is when you guys just start.
I was excited.
Finally, so that's all the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games put into a collection, available everywhere, and a bunch of other games that you guys don't know about. So, being that's not really going to be the hottest topic that we're going to talk about today, I'm going to move on to one other thing. IGN listed their best open world games top 10.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that list. Does anybody have that list?
Yes. So for number one, they have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now this personally is not the game that I have played. I know it's a terrible thing, but I'm not a big Zelda guy, which I know is also a terrible thing. But I mean, I have not for years and years and years, I've continuously heard about Breath of the Wild and the world and all that jazz. So I'm imagining that it probably deserves that place given just all of the hype that has gotten over the years.
I could speak on it. I played it.
Yeah, okay.
I have it. Breath of the Wild is for a huge open world game, and I thought this was like impossible coming from like the Fallout games. Like all the other open world games that we had have been like really buggy a lot. And it's like something that we accept because no one else really opens open world. They offer open world without tons of bugs. It's just something that we think comes with the territory. And Breath of the Wild is a Nintendo quality open world game, and tons of charm, tons of like physics involved in the game. Really well made, great, everything you would expect from a Nintendo franchise in an open world. They deliver, right? Some complaints that I had with it obviously are like weapons breakable. Like every time you get a weapon, it breaks. Like there were no real dungeons, which is kind of like something that you really want to get into in an open world. It was just more like you find like a tower or something, and there's a puzzle in there, a physics-based puzzle, and that's like the bulk of the game is exploring a huge, amazing, cool like world. A lot of it empty, but there's a lot to find there also, and it's just a lot of collectibles and puzzles. I'm really selling it short here, but it's a great game. I would not put it at number one because it left me feeling I don't feel like doing any more puzzles. I want to have some cool combat scenarios. I want to have like some battles that are really exciting, and it had like nice boss battles and things, but it didn't hit me the way an Elden Ring did. But that's just me personally.
I will say, I mean, a lot of that makes sense to me. I'm just gonna move on from what you said because I feel like you kind of hit it. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, this is a game that I've played extensively.
Right.
I 100% believe that it does belong there just because of like, again, like just how the game flows. And like, you know, you'll go to an area and like, say there's some sort of a side quest or whatever, but like there's dialogue, you know what I mean? There's something happening. There's an event, there's action, there's a thing, or there's a monster. Like, you know, there's always something around every corner. Again, very kind of deep game. A lot of discoverable things. There's plenty of like things that just go out on your own, like in just the wild world, not even the towns and stuff. But there was also like tons of towns. There's tons of like, you know, again, just funny NPCs, like even ones that you know, just NPCs you can't even interact with, you know what I mean? Like just the random ones in the background, but they're always just doing something, you know, interesting. They're playing cards and cursing at each other or whatever. And it was always like, it was a very full feeling game, and like it was just deep, man. Like it's a very immersive game. I was super down with that. And you feel very immersed going around the world. Like you feel like The Witcher. Just
combat sucks.
Around and stuff.
The combat sucks.
Go to hell, Ruckus.
being that we're really short on time at this point, what would you change, Jules? I know you haven't played a lot of these games, but just based on looks, let's just throw out some ignorance. How would you adjust this list based on how you feel right now in the moment?
I love
ignorance. Do it. How would you adjust this list?
All right. Well, Elden Ring's going in at number one.
Boom.
Let's be real. Yeah.
Let's be real. Number two, I don't even play Horizon. I'm putting at number three. I'm gonna put Witcher. Witcher's staying at number two. Horizon's number three. Red Dead.
Is Witcher going at number two just because of Henry Cavill?
Probably just because of Henry, to be honest.
Wait, how are you saying
Skyrim is number four. Like,
yo, Frank, shut up. This is Jules'
number
list.
5.
All right.
GTA is number 6. Metal Gear Solid is the last. Spider-Man is the second to last, and that's my list. I don't think I put Red Dead on there at all.
Frank, go. We got like 30 seconds. Go.
I'm also going to say Elden Ring. Then I'm going to follow it up with Witcher Wild Hunt. I believe that's good. I do believe that Fallout's New Vegas, I'm going to give it like a 5. I kind of believe it was a fun game. I've heard a lot about Red Dead. I'm going to give that 3. Definitely Skyrim. I want to give that. Actually, no. Skyrim's number 3. Red Dead number 4. Fallout Vegas number 5. I don't know anything about the Phantom Pain and the open world of it. But I would probably put that number 6. And then I'm gonna give Horizon, Spider-Man. I'm gonna put GTA 5 at the bottom, bro. Like I honestly, like I felt like it's a series of random.
We don't have time for the why. We got to go.
20 seconds.
So 20 seconds. My list right now is Elden Ring. All right, guys, make sure you check out our YouTube, Phase 3 Gaming. We have Phase 3 Gaming everywhere. Phase 3 Gaming Pod on Twitter. Make sure you guys send us an email, phase3gamingpodcast at gmail.com. Frank, do us the honor of taking us out.
This is Phase 3 Gaming, and this phase is over.